So let's talk about penultimate workouts, right? Penultimate workouts are either the third part of a four-part race or the fourth part of a fifth-part race. Okay. Coach Jason here from Top Line Running. I hope you're all doing well. And again, it's called penultimate workouts. You're gonna change the back end of your races with these workouts. It's designed to attack the race a little bit differently. Generally, tactically, middle distance and distance runners, people tend to try to set themselves up for a kick, right? And sometimes that's considered falling asleep in races and so on and so forth. The problem is you don't really know sometimes if you're racing against people who are stepping down or stepping up. So you're dealing with strength people, you're dealing with speed people. You need to be prepared for either one, right? So I'm going to take you through some penultimate workouts, the 800 all the way up to the 10K. Okay, that I think you'll find beneficial. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. My email address is blackbeltrunningcoach@gmail.com. If you have any questions at all, I help athletes and coaches on a regular basis design training, figure out where to incorporate certain workouts as well. And this is a way of spicing up workouts. Instead of saying, 5 times a K is for 1,000, now you can throw some variety in here. But I encourage folks to start incorporating these maybe mid-season or something like that when you're up to the point where you can do the repeats at the volume of the race that you're looking to run. Okay, this is just a way of adding a different play, a variety that's going to enhance the back end of your race, which is generally when most of us need it, right? So let's get right into this. And again, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. We are less than 100 away from 5,000. Would love to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's really helpful and it's greatly appreciated by me. And I thank you so much for it. Whether you're a coach or an athlete, doesn't matter, just a fan. I thank you for it. Now let's get into this. For the 800 meters, as always, a good warm up, drill strides, and for the shorter, if you're doing shorter, faster stuff in the beginning or the workout itself, a transitional piece after the warm up, like a tempo rep of 800 to 1K, some cases even a mile, to help elevate your heart rate before you start running the faster stuff in the workout themselves. But generally, if you look at it this way, instead of 4 times a 200 in the workout, which is 800 meters or 2 sets of it, you're going to do 200, 200, and then 2 times 100, then 200. You're going to break that third 200 down into two pieces and run it a little bit faster than you normally run. So let's just say you're looking to run 2 minutes. As an example, you're going to run the 200s 29 or 30, and then run 200s and maybe 13 or 14, slightly faster, and then run the 200 again to finish off in 29 or 30. You take a minute recovery after all the reps. Okay, then you take a 6 to 8 minute recovery in between the sets, and then you try to run a second set again. Okay, and again, you see the 200s are 800 meter pace. The hundreds are, once you get to the point where you get fitter and sharper, they can be down to 400 pace. That's a good 800 meter workout. 1600, again, this is third part of four parts. So instead of 4 times a 400, right, or 2 sets of 4x400, we've talked about this, building towards 8 times a 400 over the course of a season. Right, this is a way of doing it in a way where it's broken up into 2 sets. So 490-second recovery, 490-second recovery, then 2 by 200, 90-second recovery, and then a 400 to finish off the sets. You take the same 6 to 8 minutes rest in between the sets, and then you repeat that again. The 400s, as you can see, are at 1600 meter pace. The 200s are at 800 meter pace. So let's just say you look at around 420 as an example, right? You're running them in 64, 65, and then you're going to run the 200s in like 29 or 30. Simulate about 2 minutes. If you're looking around 5 minutes, you run the 400s in 74, 75. You run the 200s in 33, 34 for like a 216, 215, 800 equivalent to the 1500 mile, and so on. Take the 6 to 8 minute recovery, and then you build towards 2 sets. Doesn't mean you need to do 2 sets right away. You're building towards it. Okay. So this is a way of enhancing the 2 sets. Okay. So now let's move over to the 1500 and 3K, where this is fourth part of 5 parts now. So instead of doing 5 times a 300, you're going to do a 300 with a 60-second rest, 300 with a 60-second rest, 300 with a 60-second rest, and 2 by 150 with the same 60-second rest, and then a 300. Okay, 60-second rest instead of 90-second. The reps are a little bit shorter here. Okay, the 300s are going to be a 1500 meter pace. The 150s, 150s are 800 meter pace. Okay. And that's the workout. You can build towards 2 sets if you need to. You take about 5 to 6 minute recovery in between the sets if you think you can handle that. The second workout is a little bit of an over distance workout. So instead of 4 times a 500, which I've talked about as well, if you can do a mile and a half or even upwards of 2 miles worth of volume, a mile pace, that's a good testament to your fitness. And here's a way of doing it. So instead of 4 times a 500, you do a 500 with a 90-second recovery, 500 with a 90-second recovery, the 2 by 250 with a 90-second recovery, then a 500 finish workout. This is just a 1 set workout. This doesn't have to be 2 sets. Okay. You do the 500s at 1500-meter pace. Then you do the 250s at 800-meter pace. It's a little bit more an aggressive workout. Okay. So that's 1500 meters. Now moving up to the 3K, instead of 5 times a 600, you do a 600 with a 2-minute recovery, 600 with a 2-minute recovery, 600 with a 2-minute recovery, then 2 times the 300s with the same 2-minute recovery, and then a 600. Okay. The 600s are a 3K pace and the 300s are a mile pace. A way of, again, setting yourself up to run that second part of the race or the penultimate part of the race at faster. And again, before I go any further, this is a way of setting yourself up so that if you want to separate yourself from the pack, right? Separate yourself from the kicker so you're not having to worry about the kickers coming after you at the end of a race. This is a way of creating space to do that. Okay. Sometimes you need to outstrength the strength runner. Sometimes you need to outkick the kicker. Sometimes you need to outstrength the kickers. And if you create a gap and they're not there to outkick you, strategically, you're at an advantage. These are the types of workouts that help you do that. Okay. So that's the whole benefit of penultimate. Now let's get back to it. 2 miles and 5K. Okay. Instead of 4x800, 2 mile, you do an 800 with a 2-minute recovery, 800 rest 2, 2 times the 400 rest 2, or you rest 1 in between the 400s, and then rest 2 after the second one. Okay. Then an 800 to finish off. Okay. So the 800s are at 2-mile pace. The 400s are a mile pace. It's a little bit of an intense workout. Okay. Again, now here, when the reps are a little bit shorter, you can do some 200s in the beginning as a transitional piece to find the pace in the workout so you're not having to look for it in the workout. So if you're going to run the 800s in, let's just say 230, right? You're running the 400s in, and the 200s in 33, 32, 33, right around there. Okay. If you're looking to run the 800s in 3 minutes, you're going to run in 44, 45. You're looking to run 800s in 220, you're looking to run them in 30 and 34, 35, and so on. The 200s, okay? When I say 230, you're looking to run in 36, 37 for 230. So now the second workout, I'm going to give you another option here. Instead of 4 times an 800, you do 800 rest 2, 800 rest 2, 4 times a 200, rest 1 after all the 200s except for the last one. You rest 2 at the end, and then you finish off with an 800. Okay, this is a little bit more of an intense. You might find some people who are more suited for this one or some people more suited for the other one. Okay, the 800s are 2-mile pace and the 200s are at 800-meter pace. This throws a whole little another level of intensity into the workout. Okay, now moving to the 5K. Instead of 5 times a K, which I mentioned, so you do a 1K rest 2, 1K rest 2, 1K rest 2, and then 2 times a 500 rest 2 after both, and then a 1K to finish. So the 1K reps are at 5K pace, the 500s are at 3K pace. Okay. Second option, 1K rest 2, 1K rest 2, 1K rest 2, then 5 times a 200. Take a 1-minute recovery after each 200 except for the last one. You rest 2 after the last one, and then 1K again. The 1Ks are at 5K pace and the 200s are at mile pace. Okay, throwing a different dynamic into the workout. Sometimes you'll see milers move up to the 5K. You'll see 5K runners move down to the mile. This puts you in a position to be ready for either. Okay, and then lastly, the 10K, the 10,000 meters. This is more appropriately for outdoors, but you're building towards this over time. So 2 options. Okay, and again, you do some 200s in the beginning to find the pace of the workout. 200s with a 200-meter jog, 2 to 3 of them. Okay, so instead of 5 times a 2K, which is a staple workout, or it should be for 2K for 10K running, you do a 2K rest 2, 2K rest 2, 2K rest 2, then 2 times 1K rest 2, and then a 2K. So the 2K reps at 10K pace, the 1K reps at 5K pace. Okay, and then option 2 is instead of 5 times 2K, it's 2K rest 2, 2K rest 2, 2K rest 2, then 4 times 500 rest 2, and then a 2K. The 2Ks are at 10K pace. The 500s here are at 3K pace. Okay, so you're throwing different variety into the workout. Okay, this is a way of enhancing the back part of the workout. You can do it 5 times a 2K, 5 times a K, 4 times an 800, and so on. This just gives you some more options there. If you want to start to enhance the versatility of your athletes or yourself, right? What I mean by versatility, well, training in multiple paces sets you up to move up a distance, sets you up to move down a distance, and be competitive in that. And that's the whole point of these workouts as well, the penultimate workouts. If you have any questions about this, okay, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay, if you happen to be on TikTok, please follow my TikTok account, Access to Coach. I'm on there as well. Okay, And again, if you're not subscribed to this channel, if you're a runner or coach, please make your way over to that subscribe button, hit that button, and turn on your notifications. I don't want you to miss anything, and I thank you so much for it. That's almost 700 videos on this channel for you. We can talk about any one of them if you'd like. Okay. And I'm speaking as a former competitive runner and a USATF certified coach over the last 2 decades. I'm also Wharton trained and certified, so I'm here to keep you healthy while you run fast too. That's important. Improving around the margins as often as we can, is a really important thing. But at the end of the day, do we want to run fast? Yes. Do we want to race better? Yes. They're not always intertwined. These are the types of things that'll help you join those, merge those together. Have a great season, everybody. Happy holidays to all. Whatever you celebrate, may it be happy, may it be merry. Peace and love. Talk to you next time.